522, welcome to week 7. Let's jump right in. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop to look around once in a while, you can miss it. And that's from Ferris Bueller. And I think most of us know that movie. Full transparency, I actually do not like that movie, which for my people of my age is almost sacrilegious. But I do love this quote, especially as we move into summer and the course is almost over. I would hope you would take some time and find time or make time to check out a little bit. Don't do any work, don't do any school, and just enjoy some time with people around you. I know for me, I have to be extremely deliberate to make this happen because it's just so easy to get caught up in all the tasks that need to happen. So that would just be my little encouragement. Before we get into this week, a couple things I'm going to chat about. The last assignment is a signature assignment, and I don't think many students actually understand what that means. It means it's an important assignment, but if you don't pass in a signature assignment, you actually can't get a satisfactory grade in that course, and that shouldn't be an issue for anyone in this course. Everyone's done great work, but I just wanted to point that out. That's policy in the handbook. That, I know the handbook's long and we don't necessarily look at it as closely as we should sometimes, but know that any of your signature assignments and some of the bigger ones moving forward in some of your other courses, know that that means you have to get a satisfactory grade on that in order to pass the class, essentially. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was something that just gets looked over. And then also late assignments. So every week of this course, I've received an email Friday, Saturday, saying something's happening and I'm going to turn things in late. And I've accepted them, and this week's no different. I will be accepting those. But I don't want to do you a disservice moving forward in your program. As we have been instructed to give a little bit of wiggle room over COVID, but that's going to start getting tightened up. And so I want to just take a minute and really go through the late assignment policy in the student handbook. And pretty specifically, it says late assignments will not be accepted. It is understood that emergent circumstances may interrupt an assignment's promptness. Exceptions will be made only if there's an emergent circumstance and prior arrangements. So that's really important, that emailing Saturday, unless all of a sudden, you're in the emergency room or something of that nature. But emailing Saturday night isn't going to cut it. If the instructor approves the extension, there will be a 20% point reduction for the assignment being late. No assignments will be accepted after 1 week of the original due date. And once again, I've not enforced this, and I'm not going to for week 6 if that happened. Week 7, there's no assignment. Week 8, they have to be on time because I have to have them graded by Sunday. So you turn them on Friday, and they have to be graded by Sunday. So make sure they're on time for the last assignment. But moving forward in your courses, this is really not for this class, but just moving forward, I want to point out that as instructors, we have been, like I said, we've been instructed to give a little leeway over COVID, but that's going away. And so I just want to set you up for success moving forward, that if something's going on, just assume if it's going to be late and the professor accepts it, there is going to be a point reduction. And they may not accept it because that is the guidance and the program course policies. So not the most fun thing to talk about, but I really do want to set you guys up for success moving forward in all your courses in your entire program. So let's jump in. This week is about working on your report for next week, your emergency technology book report. So I'll talk about that in just a minute. It is due on Friday of week 8, and once again, those have to be on time because they have to be done. Grades are submitted by Sunday night. You need to post a review of the book on Goodreads, and so just know that your book report and your book review are two different things. Your book report is the assignment, and we'll get into the rubric and all that, and the book review is a short review that you post on Goodreads. And so I will go over that in a little bit more detail here in a minute. No posts this week, no assignments this week. So there are a few reading things. And so this first one is, how do you evaluate technology tools? And there's really 3 questions. Will the use of this tool support the stated learning objective? How user-friendly is this tool? And then will this use of this tool support various quality educational criteria? It's it's only a couple pages long. It's a good read. Then that leads into this next article, which is evaluating kind of same topic. And as you can see, it's not a long article at all. It just really hits quickly on kind of the same idea of is it easy to use? Does it support the learning? And then the last one, you can see right here, 111 pages. You don't need to read this whole document, though it's a really good read as far as kind of understanding where the Department of Ed feels technology in education fits in. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying to get that understanding is actually really good. But what I would say is look at the table of contents and find a few areas that you really want to dive into, and then just kind of skim. But there is a lot of good information in here, even though it is fairly long. So those are your 3 things for this week. Once again, there's no assignment this week. Everything points to next week. So let's jump in. I want to talk about the assignment for next week now. Once again, you can use a Google Doc or a Word doc. Make sure everything was APA. If you do Google Doc, the easiest way is to download it as a PDF and then upload it into that submit box. It is worth 50 points. And here is the general format. So a summary of the text. You're blending your thoughts and excerpts, cited appropriately, of course, in that first part. A critique of the themes and the author's intent. The third part is a discussion of the author's qualifications. And then the fourth one is a review posted in Goodreads. It does not need to be in the report itself. So let me talk about that first before you get into the rubric. You are going to give a review, 600, 800, a page or so review into Goodreads. And that review is just reviewing the book in general. Hey, this is what I like. This is what I didn't like. I feel like you should read it, or it's not worth your time. You know, a general book review. Your report goes through what the rubric is asking for. So you're going to summarize it. And there's 5 areas or 5 levels. So needs work, very little summaries given, all the way to exemplary. Summary consists of discussion of major themes, ideas, providing 4 excerpts from the text. A combination of ideas of the book and your own thoughts are eloquently stated. So that's kind of spanning that. Then you're going to give a critique. Critique of consistent thoughts, responses, and reactions to the text. Reviewer reacts to the themes and author's aims or intent. The author's qualifications. That's a little bit shorter, 100 to 200 words. Essentially saying this is why this author is allowed, or it makes sense that this author is talking on this subject. And then the last section is clear communication of process and critique, logical sequence, strong supporting information. And then the bottom one, error-free, reflects careful effort, clear grasp of writing conventions, proofreading. So the whole paper right here, once again, 600 to 800 words for this whole paper. And so one thing I would say is use Grammarly, submit it to Grammarly. It's going to catch most mistakes that students make pretty consistently. You can see how each section is broken up into 10 points. So even your language mechanics and your writing style are each worth 10 points, just like the other 3 sections. So hopefully giving you more detailed breakdown of what this assignment is helpful. If you have any questions, please email. And have a good week 7. It seems like a lighter week, but really you should be working on this book report, book report, as well as your book review. Have a great week.